Frey Farms is a company that's been around for over 25 years, and we grow and sell fresh fruits and vegetables to all major retailers throughout the country.
So what would you say is uniquely challenging about running a business like Frey Farms?
We have really 3 different business models. We have a farming operation, we have a sales and distribution company, and then we sell fresh beverages and manufacture through a co-packing arrangement. So we have to accommodate all those different business models, which are all unique in their own ways.
And how does NetSuite create efficiency in that process?
We have all of these customer orders, and then we have all of these fields where we're harvesting, maybe 3 or 4 fields at any given time. So we have a person that will match up the supply and the demand, say, okay, these orders are gonna ship from this location, these are from this location. So then at the location, they have a save search essentially that shows them the orders that they're shipping today and all of the information they need to know, any special requirements, what kind of pallet is supposed to be on. And then we'll also have some things built into it to maybe make it flash in yellow if there's been a change to the order that they need to highlight. Or if there's a canceled order, we leave it on there, but we turn it red so that they know that it's canceled. And so that's how they know what to ship for the day.
What are the top reports and analyses you run on NetSuite as the CFO?
So on a regular basis, there are several things that I have on my dashboard that I monitor. For any given location, we have a really brief report that says how many bins, what's my total sales dollars, what's my average selling price, what's my average freight cost, and we look at those numbers as they move on a daily basis, and I can kind of compare that to what my budgets were for those commodities in those locations. After we close out a location, what was my average cost per acre, what was my average yield per acre, what was my average selling price per bin for that location in that time period. Those are probably the most significant ones that I'm looking at on a regular basis.
And you have those right on your dashboard.
Yes.
Like you pull that up no matter where you are.
Yes.
And you can check on the business.
Being able to flip between those reports is certainly key. I also use a lot of save searches. A lot of times for the drill down, I'll create a save search that has more information, on it that kind of helps me do some account analysis or maybe, respond to certain questions that I'm getting from the farm. What did we spend on this and so on. That's really been the way we've really been able to capitalize on the data in the system.
How are you using NetSuite to look at profitability?
Again, it's just looking at by class and by location. Looking at we grow watermelons in South Florida and Central Florida and North Florida, and looking at each of those locations and the growing costs are different because of the different seasonality and the different weather issues that you experience there. The market is much higher in April than it is in July. So those are all things that we can track in the system and run reports, and our sales team is very good at running the reports and pulling some of that data themselves. So they do a lot of that analysis as well.
How are you able to adjust around that on the sales side? Like, what are you able to do now with NetSuite that you weren't able to do before?
So one thing that we put in place just recently so that our leadership team can understand when the market is rising or falling is that we've set up some reports that'll send out every day, what is the average selling price for yesterday? Like most recent, most current, so that we can understand when the market is falling. Because our sales team, the way they sell is we have melons, they call their customers, who do you need melons? And then it's based on market price. And today's market price is different from yesterday's. So we need to understand when the market is falling so we know whether we need to make a move or what changes we need to make.
So what other kinds of strategic decisions have you been able to make using NetSuite?
So one example would be on our forklifts. We have a lot of forklifts at multiple locations. We had the question, do we buy more or instead of renting, or how do we do that? And so we started tracking our cost using the custom segments so that we could understand how much we were spending on our forklifts and then determine, it looks like it might make more sense for us to buy some more forklifts instead of renting these.
Got it. With that, what new functionality are you hoping to add with NetSuite?
Probably the most significant thing that I would like to do is I would like to do more on the analytics side and understand some more sophisticated reporting on the financial side, maybe preparing a certain format of a report that I want to give to our lenders or different ones, and so that I can just hit print and not have to do anything to it. And the functionality's there, I just haven't had the time to address it, but I think that's where I would probably want to focus.
Yeah. Will you utilize any of NetSuite's like educational services teams or anything to help you get there?
Yes, we've used the Learning Cloud Support Pass in the past. I rely on my NetSuite administrator to sort of do a lot of that research, and she's really great at that. We will definitely use those resources. She's also learned how to use Suite Answers really well and dig into that, and so we'll rely on that heavily.
For anybody who is thinking about upgrading from basic accounting software to ERP, what are the top benefits?
Just having everything in one place. Being able to run the reports and pulling all the data for all the different data points in one system. You can't run that save search and get all of that data if you have some of it in a different system. So it's also just easier from a maintenance standpoint as well.
Got it. So moving into the future here, what does the future hold for Frey Farms?
We'll continue to evolve based on customer demands. I mean, the beverage business is growing. We just implemented some additional supply planning functionality to accommodate that, which has been a huge benefit. But yeah, I think just continuing to look at what the consumer wants, and if there's consumer demand and we have a place to grow it and we can grow it profitably, we'll grow it.